We're gonna do some fast news.
The
Let's
Trump
see what's going on
administration
in the
is
news
reviewing the
sphere.
visas of 55 million foreigners, as first reported by the Associated Press Thursday. In a statement to the Washington Post, a State Department official confirmed the review and says it will allow the department to revoke visas for overstays, crimes, threats to public safety, and any terrorist activity. The Post reports 77% of visas issued in the 2024 fiscal year were for business or tourism, and around 7% are for students, academics, and their families. The Trump administration has also enacted a new rule that requires officials to screen the social media accounts of visa and green card holders for anti-American activity. While one senior State Department official notes it likely
we gotta
means
take a look
longer
at your
review
social media
process,
now, you
they
fucking
say it's
illegals.
necessary to protect Americans. Immigration and free speech advocates have raised concerns the new rules don't target
you
actual
trying to
criminal
incite some
activity, rather they
anti-America,
police free
huh?
speech. They claim the
Incite some
administration
violence,
will
huh?
likely target individual groups or people as a result of the review. The latest move comes as Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the administration has halted the issuance of visas to commercial truck drivers in the wake of a deadly crash involving an Indian national. Trump administration officials say he was in the country illegally. Authorities say he attempted to make an illegal U-turn in Florida, which led to the fatal collision. The State Department contends this move is non-discriminatory because it applies to all visa holders. For more on this story, download the Shade Arrow News app or visit san.com. For Shade Arrow News, I'm Kaylee Carey.
It's to all visa holders.
Okay, guys.
You fuck up, that's on you, bitch. You're getting slapped.
Welcome back. We're following some breaking news right now at the moment. There is a report of a possible active shooter on the campus at Villanova University. A Nova alert from university.
This was 2 days ago.
They are advising people to move to a secure location.
I'll put it in the... We can check on it right now, see how that situation's going. Oh, right here.
A Channel 3 exclusive, a local West Hartford family was at Villanova University outside Philadelphia for college drop-off for what was supposed to be a beautiful memory, and it all turned into a nightmare. I spoke with Kate Munoz, who was at the good...
People were getting trampled. We in the Connolly Center, and together we were grateful, but then almost a little sad. Like Andrew started to definitely feel like he was going to have this experience robbed from him up high in Chico, and they ended up having a great night with their friends. I think it was a bonding experience for everybody that went through it together. And you know, he texts a little bit more now.
As a swatting, so where someone calls in, someone called in a fake swatting incident.
I think that he appreciated that we were there with him, but now just gonna move on.
Wow, what a story. And Pennsylvania's Governor Josh...
So it was, someone called a fake swatting for some reason.
A former Navy sailor is now a convicted spy who sold information to China. 25-year-old Jin Chao Wei was the first American to be convicted of espionage in a decade and the first ever to be tried here in San Diego.
NBC7's Allison Ash has more on what prosecutors are calling a big victory for the U.S.
Espionage cases are rare, especially among members of the military who are sworn to protect their country.
Yeah, because espionage cases, you only hear about that of people doing military stuff,
and the jury
not fucking civilian
too.
shit.
The verdict today showed that the jury
not
seriously considered the evidence,
fucking political bullshit,
and reached the right result.
Guilty of conspiracy to commit espionage and violating the Arms Export Control Act. A federal jury found Jin Chao Wei guilty of a total of 6 counts involving selling sensitive information about his own Navy ship, the USS Essex, to the Chinese. A verdict that shows
these are not victimless crimes, that espionage is one of the most serious crimes that the United States can prosecute, and that when people choose to betray their country, the consequences will be severe.
According to federal prosecutors, Wei sent thousands of pages of sensitive documents to his Chinese handler, who he nicknamed Big Brother Andy. A shipmate who Wei confided with told him he should delete his contact with Big Brother Andy, but Wei did not.
This was not about hating the United States or benefiting China. He appeared to be in this just for himself. And so he made some money out of this. He made about $12,000 that he was paid through PayPal, through some surreptitious accounts. So it was all about the money for him.
Hey, PayPal, you're fucking up. Why are you trying to stop Steam, but you're being used as a platform to facilitate espionage and shit?
At the conclusion of the interrogation, they asked him, "What would you make of this? What would you call it?" And he said espionage.
Yeah, you know these platforms are being used for like black market deals,
who
right?
betrayed the country he was sworn to defend. Wei returns here to federal court in December for sentencing. The judge could give him up to life.
This is what you call dirty money.
Reporting from outside the federal courthouse downtown.
I wonder who else has dirty money on Twitch.
Well, things outside starting to cool down right now, but get ready for tomorrow and the rest of the week. Things are only going to heat up even more, Greg.
I would also call the botting situation dirty bot money for Twitch. Dirty money.
Meanwhile, Maui police also have identified the suspect in the shooting. Legal experts say Clember Kaneholani could face life in prison without parole for allegedly killing the officer. He also has several prior convictions. Here's a list of Clember Kaneholani's convictions between 2005 and 2015. They include disorderly conduct, reckless driving, as well as 2 theft convictions. One of those was a felony.
Isn't this gonna get right with all those charges? He might just get a felony.
So one of the questions is going to be,
and he's got a felony charge.
Police believe the 38-year-old Kaneholani used a rifle to shoot and kill Officer Suzanne O on Friday night.
I think one of the biggest concerns that people have these days is how people are able to obtain firearms in the first place.
Legal experts say applying for a firearms permit involves a criminal background check, mental health screening, and several other tests.
So I think the issue is here whether this person even had a permit in the first place or whether they were able to get the firearm through some other means. And we're just going to have to see how the facts play out for this case.
Suzanne O is the 3rd Maui police officer to be killed by gunfire in the line of duty. Officer William Roback and Officer Frank Kong were also shot and killed in the 1950s.
This weekend I was with a lawyer who's related to the victim. So, you know, we're a small-knit community. Maui hasn't really seen a lot of on-duty deaths by firearm. And so I think it's sending shockwaves through the community right now.
This is a very serious reminder that every single day our law enforcement officers, as well as all of our first responders, put their life on the lines, plain and simple.
There you have it. Gunned down in the line of duty for some reason. Yeah, and the dude's a repeat offender too.
For the gunman who killed a young woman on a metro bus in Westchester.
Yeah, as KCAL News reporter Zach Boedo explains, investigators think the woman was just trying to break up a fight.
LAPD Metro officers spending some of their day here at this stop on Manchester and Belford, going in and out of Metro buses, making sure things are safe after an 18-year-old woman was shot and killed in one of these Metro buses overnight.
Jesus.
Police say the 18-year-old victim was trying to break up some sort of argument between her boyfriend and the suspect on the Metro bus line 115 around 10:45 Friday night when she pulled out her pepper spray. That's when officials say the suspect pulled out a gun and shot the victim in the chest. According to Metro spokesperson Jose Ubaldo, the bus driver heard the gunshots from the back of the bus and immediately stopped. Bus riders, including the suspect, then flooding out of the Metro bus at the stop on Manchester and Belford. Paramedics arriving on scene, doing everything they can to save the woman who eventually died from her injuries at a local hospital. The suspect getting away. LAPD now searching for the suspect, who they say is a 20-year-old man. We've reached out to Metro and
Now the suspect's
LAPD
on the
for
run because
video of this incident from inside the bus. They're not yet releasing that video or the name of the 18-year-old woman who died in the shooting. In Westchester, Zach Boetto, KCAL News.
Yeah, that's interesting. How did that 20-year-old get... Young 20-year-old already has a firearm. Might be some gang-related stuff because he's carrying it around the way he is. What's this?
President Xi Jinping has made a rare trip to Tibet, his first in 4 years, to mark 6 decades since Beijing consolidated control over the region. President Xi told crowds that loyalty to the Communist Party must come first, urging wider use of Mandarin and pressing Tibetan Buddhism to adapt to socialism. The trip also showcased Beijing's massive new hydropower project.
Accept
Billed as clean energy, but analysts
socialism.
warn it carries strategic risks for India, which depends
luck.
heavily on
Have fun.
downstream water supplies. Xi's visit highlighted another looming conflict, the future of Tibetan Buddhism. The Dalai Lama, now 90 and living in exile in India, rejects China's claim that Beijing must have a say in choosing his successor. That sets up what experts call a looming clash over religion and politics in the Himalayan region. Chinese state outlets defended Beijing's record, citing expanded health care, free education, and a doubled life expectancy. But analysts told the Wall Street Journal the timing reflects Xi's concerns about loyalty and stability along one of China's most sensitive borders. For more on this story, download the Straight Arrow News app or visit san.com.
There you have it. Isn't he just the happiest of the 100 or the 1,000-acre woods?
UK's leader Nigel Farage is promising mass deportation of illegal immigrants if he wins the next general election. John Craig.
Nigel Farage gave an interview to The Times today in which he unveiled a plan should he become Prime Minister. Well, they're ahead in the polls, let's put it that way. And it's mass deportations, he says, to fix what he calls a massive crisis.
Oh yeah, we'll see if he does that. Actually, I mean, given how many settlements there are of these migrants and right these encampments, and they're just fucking people up,
but we can't be responsible
like stealing
for everything
shit
that
from
happens
people.
in the whole of the world.
It's not looking good.
And he went on to say, "Whose side are you on?" So a very uncompromising Nigel Farage there. The Prime Minister has this afternoon responded, we are tackling illegal migration.
Oh yeah, wasn't there like
July
a boat?
Year,
Yeah, didn't some of them come by like sea too?
Have been returned. This is our plan for change in action. Well, the figures earlier in the week were not good. I mean, they were very bad. I mean, two of the things that have really damaged the government this week. First of all, that controversial High Court ruling about the Epping Hotel there absolutely caught the government on the hop there. They didn't really know how to respond. They don't know where to put all these people.
Yeah, apparently they're putting them all in the hotel.
A lot more.
Yeah, this was the hotel where people were having issues.
Suggests that 7 councils are
I think
considering
Modernity had one of
Epping.
those guys
11
film that
are
area one time, and they were getting
investigating,
attacked by a bunch of migrants.
Those numbers could go up to 20 or more. And of course, the Home Office is appealing against that High Court ruling. But the problem, the policy's in disarray, really. And then you had those very bad figures on Thursday, which showed the number of illegal migrants and the figures of people staying in hotels since Labour came to power. So the government is very much on the back foot. It's fair to say the Tories are on the back foot as well, and it seems to be Mr Farage who's not for the first time, setting the agenda and really challenging the government.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I mean, he's kind of late, right? A lot of these people are late on the uptake, right? These things have been happening for years and years already, and you're now just addressing the issue. You got a lot of work to do there.
I'm Christina Awayo in Dallas, and here are your top stories. An illegal migrant from China has been arrested for running an international weapons ring out of Gavin Newsom's California. 42-year-old Shenghua Wen, who overstayed his student visa, was sentenced to 8 years in prison. Federal prosecutors said Wen exported more than 50,000 rounds of ammunition, high-capacity magazines, body armor, and advanced tech from his California base, and was paid $2 million by North Korean agents for the operation. Authorities described his home as a, quote, revolving door of suspicious activity, with a van parked outside used to move the arsenal. They directly tied his actions to sanctuary protections, which allowed him to avoid accountability and build his weapons ring.
There it is.
Wen
I told
was
you.
arrested last December
Hey,
at his
when you
Long
have
Beach
like a
area
sanctuary
home
state
after
or
an
sanctuary
FBI
city, they're going to use
uncovered
those laws to
stockpiles
fuck
of military-grade
to do
equipment
illegal
that was being
shit.
sent to North Korea. They found firearms, suppressors, and other items hidden in his home and van, with evidence showing shipments routed through the port of Long Beach. Prosecutors said the weapons were earmarked for a surprise attack on South Korea. Under Newsom, California has funneled massive taxpayer dollars into benefits for illegal migrants, with estimates from the Federation
not
for
only
American
that, but some of
Immigration
these guys
Reform
are doing like
pegging
super
annual
illegal
state
things.
and local costs at more than $30 billion for free education, healthcare, and welfare. That's what you need to know. In Dallas, Christina Awayo.
There it is. What's this?
We are following some breaking news. This does involve the case against Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Take a look at this video as he was released from jail in Tennessee just yesterday.
Oh, doesn't he look healthy? Oh my
Immigration officials
goodness.
now saying they plan to deport
Well, he doesn't
him to
look like he's
Africa
been
after he
in
turned down an
distress or
offer to be
anything like
deported to
that.
Costa Rica in exchange for remaining there in jail.
Oh,
and
they
pleading
say he
guilty to
was
human
getting
smuggling
tortured and
charges.
shit.
The
He looks
information
pretty
coming from
healthy
a
and
court
fat
filing
looking there.
that was released today. The Costa Rica offer reportedly came late Thursday
what I
after it
mean?
was clear that the man from El Salvador would likely be released from jail in Tennessee Friday. As you can see, that's what happened. Abrego Garcia declined to extend his stay in jail, and he was released Friday to await trial in Maryland with his family. Following his release, the Department of Homeland Security notified his attorneys that he would be deported to Uganda and should report to immigration authorities Monday, so 2 days from now. Abrego Garcia was deported from the U.S. in March and facing a court order. The Trump administration brought him back in June, detaining him on human smuggling charges in Tennessee. He pleaded not guilty to the crimes and asked the judge to dismiss the case, claiming that it was an attempt to punish him for challenging his deportation to El Salvador.
What?
Garcia was deemed eligible
Motherfucker, you
for
were
pretrial
caught on
release.
camera
His attorneys had
with a bunch
requested
of
that he
people
remain
in your
jail
car.
until now,
Like,
fearing
what?
the Trump administration would deport him right away if freed, and it does appear that is what is going to happen, as officials say that they expect to deport him over to Uganda. We also have this post coming in from Bill Malone, our friend over at Fox News, who says breaking.
Even if we can't deport you back to your country of origin, you're getting deported to a fucking country that allows deportation. You're getting the fuck up out of here no matter what.
Quote, no earlier than 72 hours from now, and
You're
ICE
fucking
is
illegal,
also
man.
ordering him to
You're a
report
foreign
to ICE's
invader.
Baltimore
Get the fuck
office
out.
on Monday. You can see right there that email that was obtained by Bill Malone exclusively via sources. Again, we are going to keep an eye on all of this here, as it does appear that Kilmar Abrego Garcia could potentially be deported on Monday, as he's asked to turn himself in to the Baltimore Office of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. If we do get any word from his attorneys here in response to this, we're going to make sure to bring that to you. Any news conference, anything of that nature, you'll get right here on Live Now from Fox.
Thank you, Fox. There you go.
Calling it the scam of the century, President Trump says his administration will no longer approve any new wind or solar power projects.
Oh,
he blames them for driving up energy costs.
Why?
In a post on Truth Social, Trump wrote, "Any state that has built and relied on windmills and solar are seeing record-breaking increases in electricity and energy costs. We will not approve wind or farmer-destroying solar." Just last month, Trump put Interior Secretary Doug Burgum in charge of final reviews for leases and construction plans. And the big, beautiful bill ends
I mean, you
tax
could be
credits
just
for
like
wind
Taiwan and
solar
start
power
back
by
up the
2027,
nuclear
credits that have
reactors.
helped fuel
You know?
renewable energy growth in recent years. Energy companies now worry many projects won't get the permits needed to move forward. CNBC reports energy prices have risen more than 20% over the past year.
Yeah, food prices have risen.
Served by the nation's largest power
Energy
grid,
has risen.
PJM
Gas has risen.
interconnection.
Right?
Earlier
A little
this
bit.
week, Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins announced the USDA will stop funding wind and solar projects on farmland, calling them
Yeah, I mean,
massive
as
taxpayer handouts
right
that
with
have
Trump
rendered
doing his
millions of
tariff
acres
wars
of
right now,
prime
everything
farmland
has increased.
unusable.
Right?
For more unbiased updates, download the Straight Arrow News app at SAN.com.
What do you got here?
Fewer Americans are choosing to register as Democrats.
Uh-oh.
A new analysis
Democrats.
of voter
What
registration
happened?
data shows the number of voters
What happened to
declared
that
as
to that
Democrats
one lady
is
who
on
was
the
supposed to
decline,
get young
and
Democrat
Republicans
voters
are
back?
gaining.
Oh wait, she got fired because she couldn't do her
According to a
job
new analysis
properly.
by the New York Times and data firm L2,
He
in
lost.
30 states that track voter registration by
Loser.
political party, Democrats lost ground to Republicans in every one of those states between 2020 and 2024. During those 4 years, Democrats lost 2.1 million registered voters,
Ouch.
while Republicans gained 2.4
Oh,
million.
wow.
This graph illustrates how
Easy
Democrats' share
win.
of new registered voters
Easy
declined in
clap.
recent years. In
Get fucked.
2018, Democrats accounted for 34% of all new voter registrations. Only 20% of new voter registrations were Republicans. But by 2023 and 2024, Republicans closed the gap and then some. In 6 years, the share of new registered Republicans rose 9 percentage points, while the Democrats dropped nearly 8 points, with more Americans registering as Republicans than Democrats in 2024. The Times reported more and more voters are registering as independents, and according to this data, it's coming mostly at the expense of
Yeah,
the
but
Democrats.
if
This
they
data could
try
explain
to
why
vote as
President
independent,
Trump
they
had so
won't
much
be able
success in
to
2024,
vote for like
sweeping all
primary
battleground
or
states
right, for the-
and winning the popular
right,
vote.
since they're not.
According to the data, each battleground
It's always
saw
going to be
Democrats'
Democrat or
voter
fucking
registration
Republicans
edge
in the
dissipate.
final running.
In North Carolina, Republicans erased roughly 95% of the Democratic
Those people that lock
registration
themselves in
advantage
independent
that was
cannot
there
vote
in
all
fall
the way
of
through.
2020. Their advantage went from 517,000 more registered voters than Republicans to 53,000. And in Pennsylvania, from 2020 to July of this year, 314,000 Democrats have switched to Republicans, nearly double the 161,000 Republicans who switched to the Democratic Party. The dip in Democratic voter registration comes as the party grapples
Well, I
with
mean, when you
questions
have like
about
David
its future.
Hogg and
Polls
like
show no clear front-runner for
who else, like
2028.
Jasmine
Although former Vice
Crockett
President
and like
Kamala Harris
well,
consistently
Kamala
leads
Harris
the
isn't
field.
fucking running
She
anymore,
recently
but she's
declined
still
to
part
run
of
for
that party,
California
right? So it's like,
governor,
woo,
a move
hello.
many see as
And then
leaving
you
the
got
door
Tim
open
Walz.
for a run at the
Oh,
White
jeez.
House. California Governor
Like,
Gavin Newsom has
Newscomb? Oh,
also
goodness
gained
gracious.
ground in recent months. A new poll
Bunch
out
of
this
bunch
week
of
even showed
fucking
California
snake
voters
oil
prefer
salesmen.
Newsom over Harris for president. At the same time, the Democratic Party faces other headwinds. Approval ratings for Democrats in Congress have slipped to historical lows, and the party is struggling financially.
Oh, yeah.
Politico reports the Democratic
I
National
mean, with
Committee has just
the
$15
USAID
million
that
in
was
cash
funding the
compared
Democrat
to the
Party for a
Republican
while.
National Committee's
Yeah, that got
$80
what's that
million on
thing got
hand.
slapped? Holy shit!
What voter
They
registration
fucking-
numbers look
they were
like in
crying so hard.
2025,
Right,
that
having
information is
Elon
limited,
Musk
as not
come
all
in
of the
with
states
Doge
which
and
disclose
literally
party
like take
registration
right
have
take a
updated their
scalpel or
numbers
an axe
since the
to some of these
2024 election.
right places
And
and
even
fix
though
them
there
up.
is a
Oh,
decline in
really
registered
fucked 'em
Democrats,
up.
there are still more registered Democrats nationwide than Republicans. But that is also partly because of available data and how individual states register voters. Some blue states
Yeah,
like
I mean,
California
once they shed a
allow people
light
to
on where
register by party,
right where
while
most of the
some
money
red
was
states
going,
like
oh man,
Texas
it was
don't
open, it
register
was open
voters
field
by
day,
party
man.
affiliation. Thanks for watching our news update. For more
There's so many
stories that matter
questions
to
being
you,
asked.
download
Why
the
the fuck are we
SAN
paying for
mobile
this
app
shit?
today.
Where's our money? All right. What's this?
Yeah, it's chilling. It really is.
What's chilling?
Listen, John Bolton and I disagreed on many things back in the days when I was serving in public office, but I don't think very many people that know John Bolton would argue that his beliefs were intellectually sound. You could
He was a
disagree with him,
warmonger. I don't give
and
a
that
fuck.
he gave a lot to this country in terms of time and his
What do you
intellect
mean?
and his work
He
ethic.
sat behind a
And,
desk.
It clearly this is retribution.
sat behind a
Clearly,
podium
this is
spouting
using the
bullshit.
FBI in a way that not only tarnishes the FBI, but it tarnishes our country. I mean, this is what they do.
The motherfucker
in
probably never got his
countries where
hands
they
dirty.
don't have
Actually, I
rule of
shouldn't say
law.
that. He's old now,
This is
so
what
he probably couldn't get
happens
his
when
hands dirty
despots
anymore.
take over, like Putin. And John Bolton has always been critical of how, I mean, he about lost it when Trump wanted to invite the Taliban to Camp David. It's chilling. Now, do I think they're ever going to have evidence to convict this man of anything in a court of law with a jury? No, they won't. But they can make him miserable.
What's the matter, Knuckles?
I mean, that's how
Gonna
you
cry?
guys try to make Trump feel
Piss your
miserable.
pants, maybe?
So he's gonna do that.
Maybe shit and cum.
Well, also, apparently he was giving sensitive information to his family members for some reason, which is just like, why are you doing that? Like confidential information, he shouldn't be telling them anything. I was like, oh, that's suspicious, yeah. $95 million smoke got burned into the haystack, into the smokestack. Oh yeah, this was the
when
electric.
I think about what we have been able to do,
the
through the
EV
infrastructure
buses
law,
or something. Yeah.
what it means is that
I don't
we
think
have
the
now
bu-
invested,
Dude,
and that's the announcement today.
I think that
$5
would be a
billion
bad idea, especially because
over the
buses.
next
You need a
5
lot of
years.
power
What we are
to
doing today is the first of
make
those
that go
$1 billion,
fast.
$1 billion, through
And I don't
grant
think
proposals
EV is the way to go
from
right now.
the 50 states, distributing to the 50 states an investment for their ability, starting the next school year, to roll these buses out, to pick up our kids and take them to school.
Yeah, how's that going?
Oh my God!
By the way, she's from California, so you shouldn't believe her. Don't believe anything she says. Don't believe anyone from California. Like, anyone from California says some shit, yeah, don't believe them. Just do your own due diligence and research it yourself.
Yeah, what a waste of money.
There you have it. All right, and with that, oh wait, there's this one too. I forgot.
Well, in California, Governor Newsom's redistricting plan will go to voters in November. The state legislature approved his proposal for a new map on Thursday. The play is a counter to President Trump, who is backing the new Texas map. Let's bring in California Republican Congressman Tom McClintock. Tom, what do you think of
Tom
the new map?
McClintock. What the? I haven't
I
heard
don't
that
like
name in
any
a
of
while.
this nonsense, either in Texas or California. The difference is Texas allows this kind of abuse, but Californians have been protected from it by our independent commission. That's what Newsom's trying to bypass. Remember, the California Commission held 196 public meetings. It received
Yeah, these
more
guys
than
don't fucking come out
30,000
and
written
say anything for a
communications
while,
over a
and then now they
period of
come
9
out and
months.
say
They
shit. What the
listened
fuck?
to every constituency and every community in the state. They
Like, these
drafted
guys
a
are like
consensus
hiding in the
plan
background,
public.
right? Alex,
This
right?
Gavin man was
Padilla,
drafted behind closed
right?
doors
He
in a
barely
matter
comes
of
out and
days.
says anything.
Well, I want to put
Right,
up
he's only making a
something
move
that,
now,
Gavin
probably
Newsom
because they need
posted
right
on
more
Twitter,
people to move up the
and in it
chain
he
of
says
command, right?
it's direct democracy that gives us a fighting chance to stop
They
Donald
need more.
Trump's
They need more
election
dick suckers.
rigging. He says this is a very democratic thing he's doing, trying to override the state elections board. Your response?
Well, it's a ludicrous statement. The entire plan
Oh,
was
look at all
drawn
these
behind
dick
closed
suckers.
doors. The only reason the public gets to see the maps at all is that a vote's required to bypass the commission and adopt them. And I think that this is going to end up being a huge
Man,
headache
notice how
for
they're
Newsom,
all old people,
because
by
he's
the
going to
way.
have to justify to
Yeah,
many small
isn't
towns
that
like
crazy?
Lodi why they're being split
Old people
into
running
3
California
congressional
to the
districts.
ground.
And he's going to have to
eh?
explain to people in rural towns like Alturas, whose congressman is going to be chosen by voters 300 miles away in Marin County. So I don't think that the Democrats are going to succeed with this. Remember, they already tried to abolish this commission in 2010 with Prop 27. Voters rejected that 60-40. I think most Americans, whatever their political views are, have an innate sense of fairness. And I think that's going to be decisive on November 4th when they go to vote.
So you don't necessarily think these new maps that the governor proposes, you don't necessarily think they're going to pass?
No, already liberal good government groups like the League of Women Voters are opposing it. A Common Cause initially opposed it and then withdrew its opposition under pressure. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who has impeccable credentials among independent voters, is campaigning against it.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
also,
I would
think
oppose this
Californians
just because
are
he
tiring
always
of
does
Gavin
shit like
Newsom.
this.
So
It was the same
I
thing
think he's
when
bitten off far more than he can chew.
right
Well,
when
he's
shit hit the fan with
rumored
the
to want
COVID.
to run for president. You think this is
Right,
part of his
he
launching
went like
pad?
super authoritarian.
I'm sure
like,
that's
closed
how he's
down a
getting
lot of
attention,
shit.
but I think when all of this plays out, it's going to be the wrong kind of attention. I think people are going to get
And then there was
clear
that
measure
the
of the political
what the
partisanship
egg
of this man,
right
and also
the
story. The
salmonella poisoning that was happening for a little bit, and then he tried to make like a weird fucking statewide
and
crazy
it's not just California
rule,
residents;
right?
it's California businesses. I want to put up a
executive
statement
order
from
for some
Marcus
fucking
Lemonis,
reason.
who is the head of
we
Bed
might
Bath
do
and
lockdown.
Beyond. He
It's like,
says,
what are you talking about?
"We will
dude?
not open retail stores in California. This isn't about politics; it's about reality."
As you can see,
California's
Gavin
system
Newsom
makes it
loves
nearly
blowing
impossible
shit out
for
of
businesses
proportion.
to succeed, and I won't put our company, our employees, or our customers in that position. And then he goes on to write, "California has created one of the most overregulated,
Yes,
expensive,
overregulated,
and risky environments
expensive,
for
and
business
risky.
in America." Well, you're a California representative.
Right,
How
if
do you
you're
respond?
a California business, I
Well,
don't
he's
know
right.
what the
I mean,
fuck
and he's not
you're
alone.
thinking. You
Iconic
fucked up.
California companies
You're
like
out of your
Oracle
fucking
and Charles
goddamn
Schwab
mind.
and Hewlett Packard, Tesla, In-N-Out, they've all moved out of California. Chevron celebrated its 145th year in California by announcing it was moving to Texas. California was Bed Bath and Beyond's biggest market.
Oh,
They had
yeah, they
90
just
stores
got
here. There's one
canned,
just down
yeah.
the street from where I'm sitting right now. They're announcing plans to open 300 stores now across the country, but not one in California. And this is precisely the point. And why
Yeah,
I think it's
everyone's
related
leaving
to
from
the
California.
whole
It's too
redistricting
expensive,
question.
man.
Wherever
The taxes,
leftist policy takes hold, you see the
right,
quality of life decline.
the real estate
Ultimately, families and
prices, right,
businesses
the
vote with their feet and leave.
overregulation.
That's what's been happening in California. In the last decade, about 2.5
And like
million
it
more
seems like
people
every
moved out of
year there's like a
California
fucking
than have
price
moved in.
hike, man.
So California is forget about redistricting. California is likely to lose 5 congressional seats in the next census just because Californians are fleeing to Republican
Yeah, we're
states
still
like
in a
Texas, which is
right.
likely to pick up
California is
5
in a
seats.
deficit too.
Congressman Tom
Like
McClintock,
we are in the
Republican from
hole, man.
California. Thank you.
California's in the red.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page
People
to catch
forget
our
that.
hottest
California's
interviews
in the red,
and
by
most
the way.
compelling analysis.
With all the companies that left and shit, yeah, California is in the red. Yeah, with all the crimes and shit that keep happening too, that's not right. That's not helping either. So yeah, there you have it. That is it for the fast news. If you want to check out all the sources, I will leave it in the description. All of it is open source. So yeah, go ahead and take a look. They also have more content there too. And there's obviously updates because, you know, the news. Every day is new news, you know. There you have it. Have a good one.